Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in this video we'll be looking into the concept of public service. Like it comes in the last unit of GS4 ethics under property and governance. So let's get into it. So in this lecture we'll be particularly dealing with the concept of public service, characteristics of public service, importance of public service, challenges, concerns about ethics in public services, and how can the public service delivery be improved. That's all we'll be dealing in today's lecture. So let's get into the lecture. So what is concept of public service? A wide range of services performed by government agencies or organizations on behalf of the public is referred to as public service, like IAS, IPS, municipalities, panchayats. The entire government is running on behalf of the public. That is public services, like education, healthcare, transportation, public safety, sanitation, water, energy distribution, waste management. All are few examples of public services. Now let's get into the characteristics of public service. Public good. See, a public service may sometimes have the characteristics of public good, like, but most services which may be provided under the market, like government hospitals, schools. So these are all public good. Next one is natural monopolies. In most cases, public services are services which they do not involve in manufacturing of goods. They may be provided by local or national monopolies, especially in sectors that are natural monopolies. Like example, railways in India, it's a natural monopoly. Government does not involve in manufacturing of goods, but still it maintains its monopoly in running the railways in India, majoritarily. Next one is non-individualistic. See, they may involve in outputs that are hard to attribute to specific individual effort or hard to measure in terms of key characteristics such as quality. Like here, a government agency does not run only for an individual, or this part cannot be run by an individual completely. Like several people are involved in providing PDS support to the poor people. Many people get involved in public distribution systems. So that is non-individualism. It is not belonging to one individual person, but several individuals are working. Non-profit motives. See, unlike the private sectors, public services do not work on prioritizing making money, but on social welfare programs. They might require funding, but their goal is to not make money, but to provide quality services which benefit the society as whole. Like the Right to Education Act of 2005, Ayushman Bharat. These are all certain examples. Moving on to the next, the long-term perspective. See, public services frequently have a long-term perspective, like taking into account of the societal evolution and the future needs. See, a government agency is concerned about delivering long-term services and infrastructure which benefit both current and future generations. Example, the LPG reforms of 1991 in India, which helped in tackling the balance of payment crisis, led to the fundamental changes in the society in the long run, because of which the economy has changed and grown drastically, and very much ahead compared to previous decades, that is pre 1991 era. Now let's look into the importance of public service. Common good. See, the purpose of public service is to serve the common good and advance the interest of society as a whole. Like it primarily focuses on providing necessary services, fostering social welfare, fulfilling collective demands that the private sector may not be able to meet properly. Yes, Here we can take an example as the PDS distribution. The PDS system, where the government agency provides grains at cheap rate, which which the private sector cannot handle or cannot manage it. That's a common good. Public health and safety. Public services such as healthcare, sanitation, and public safety are critical to the preservation of public health and safety, and they safeguard individuals and communities against hazards, diseases, and emergency, ensuring the population's well-being and security. So we have seen how the government has responded during the COVID-19 crisis. They take public health and safety very, very seriously. Democratic government. The public sector is inextricably linked to the democratic government. It guarantees that public resources are administered properly and in the best interest of the public. Like in the democratic government, it is accountable to citizens. Public officials strive to respect democratic values such as transparency and ethical standards in the service delivery. So, public officials here um, work to respect the values and ensure that public sector works towards the democratically society as a whole. Education and knowledge. See, public service includes education system that ensure everyone has access to high quality education. Right to Education Act of 2005 brings in a major standhold here. Like it contributes to development of a knowledgeable and skilled workforce, supporting creativity, economic productivity, and societal progress. Like I remember somewhere, like I don't know who said this, but I remember this. If you want to destroy a nation, don't bomb, don't wage war on anyone. Just reduce their standard of education, and the nation will crumble on its own. So that's something the power of education and knowledge. Next one is crisis management and disaster response. During crisis and catastrophes, public services play a key role. They provide disaster response, relief, recovery services, ensuring the safety of public property and infrastructure. In the aftermath of public service, in the aftermath of disaster, public service agencies coordinate efforts, provide support, and assist communities in rebuilding the society. Yeah, we have seen this numerous times by um, our armed forces, government agencies working together in different disasters and to helping people to stay away from the disaster and help in rebuilding the community after the disaster. So this is something which we must take into it. Now let's look into some challenges with public services. Financial limits. See, because public services frequently rely on the government funding, financial limits might limit their resources. Like inadequate funding can result in shortage of suitable employees, infrastructure, equipment, and supplies, which might compromise the service quality and accessibility. Like for example, the Public Accounts Committee in its 54th report on the implementation of public financial management system has stressed that the fiscal prudence in financial planning by incorporating scientific methods into budgeting, projecting, and utilization of funds. So it has told that we must work on properly by incorporating scientific methods and use the funds properly. Budget it and use it properly. That's something the financial limits. Complex decision making. See, bureaucratic process and complex decision making structures can hamper public sector organization. It can cause service delivery delays, inefficiencies, difficulty, red tapeism. These all reacting to the changing needs and requests. So a good example here is Binod Kumar Chowdhury. He's a Nepalese billionaire and the chairman and the president of the Chowdhury Group, like which operates in both hospitality and the culinary industries, and it produces the famous YY noodles. However, like he purchased land in Surat in 2010, planning to build a hotel, but abandoned the idea later. I mean, several years later, because he was not able to obtain licenses. See, that's complex decision making. You don't get it immediately. A lot of bribery, a lot of red tapeism is going on, because of which he must have abandoned it. Complex stakeholder management. Multiple stakeholders with varying interests and agendas are frequently involved in public services, and balancing those interests of various stakeholders and ensuring efficient collaboration and coordination can be quite difficult. But still, sometimes it can cause potential conflicts, delays, and delivery proper service delivery compromises, which should not happen. Accountability and transparency challenges. Accountability and public trust can be hampered by lack of clear performance measures, weak reporting procedures, and restricted public interaction. See, when a government is working on something, and if they are not transparent or accountable for things, eventually the government, the people, the society at large will lose interest over those people, or over those over those who are working in the government agency, which will hamper the process. So these are few challenges with respect to the public services. Now we'll be looking about the concerns about ethics in public service. The conflict of interest. Public workers must avoid conflicts between personal interest and public duty, like avoiding situations in personal financial gains or ties, uh, which might change the decision and jeopardize the impartiality and integrity of the function. Like example, retired civil servants getting jobs in private sector and involving in the financial irregularities. That is something which should not happen. Professionalism and integrity. Public workers should conduct themselves with professionalism and integrity. Public engagement and participation. It's the obligation of public employees here to engage with public, listen to their concerns, and include them in the decision making process as appropriate. Like just because you are a public servant, you cannot just jump into conclusion that do this, do that. No, you have to ask the people about what is their problem, what are their needs, and act accordingly, and even involve them in the decision making process and act accordingly. That's something a public servant should do. Fairness and impartiality. Public workers should operate impartially without bias, like treating all people equally and fairly. That's we must work on that. Ethical leadership and role modeling. It is the job of public sector leaders to create ethical standards and serve as role model for their subordinates and the larger community. See, a person who leads the ship, a captain of the ship, must bring in ethical leadership, which can eventually bring in that effect to more people and stand as a role model. That's we must take into consider. Like ethical leadership, we can say about people's president Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. His ethical leadership changed the ideas, vision of students, and brought him in as a great role model for the country. So that's ethical leadership. Now, how can the services be improved? Improving the standards. Conscious strengthening of services standards in terms of quantity, quality, time, and cost of service delivered. Like good example here is clothing retailer H&M publishes the list of around 98.5% of their suppliers' names and addresses on website, so that they can be held publicly accountable for the conduct of their suppliers, and that anyone can verify whether suppliers are living up to standards set by company, which shows high professional standards and also helps in improving their standards. Professionalism. Technical adequacy of contracting firms to degree to which the firms provide service other to ethical and technical competencies. See, an organization must have professionalism, which again here helps in ethical and technical competencies by each and every individual so that the professionalism is maintained and good service is delivered. Citizen satisfaction. To ensure that the ordinary citizen is the focus of service delivery and realizes the value for money. See, a citizen must focus on value delivery, it's a value of the service delivery, and he or she must feel that it's worth of money. The satisfaction is important, and only then he or she, the product can grow higher and increase the standards, higher standards. Good governance. Focused institutional framework for good service delivery processes and practices. See, a company, if it has an organization, if it has good governance in the process of delivery process and practices, eventually that company can grow to next level. So these are all few points about how can the delivery be improved. So that's it for today's lecture, guys, folks. So hope you understood the concept of public service. Do watch the lecture, like the channel, and subscribe the channel and the video. We will resume with the next topic soon. Thank you.